Guys, happy Sunday. I hope you all are having a really great weekend. I wanted to pop in real quick and give a live video on something that happened tonight that has pretty much vindicated of a lot of our lives, especially the last 2 years with things that have been going on in the world. We want to talk about the idea of people thinking that in the mainstream media that there was no such thing as the child sex trafficking on the terms of what was originally being talked about on the 8chan or the 4chan forums. Tonight, something very interesting happened, and this is something that I've been talking about for years now. I'm so grateful. First of all, let me thank everybody who's been interested and everybody who's listened, everybody who has shared, everybody who has taken this whole research into finding out what global trafficking is about, what the real definitions of human trafficking are about, what the real consequences are, what's really happening. I met someone tonight in Nashville, okay? And I won't say how, but I met someone who has been specifically brought to Nashville from Philadelphia, and he's working specifically to find child sex trafficking rings and the drug trafficking rings. This is his job, and by just chance, we happened to meet tonight, and we started talking. He had no idea who I was. And for most of you too, you might just know me as Kim or an artist. In certain circles, you also know, certain people know that I have been an advocate about raising awareness to the exploitation of young women, children, and young men in the arts and political situations, in all kinds of different ways, to human trafficking, sex trafficking, drug trafficking, destroying your conscience, destroying your innocence for the dollar, in all kinds of ways, for all different kinds of opportunities that don't ever actually fulfill any kind of success in any way, shape, or form. And it's been a long journey, and it's something that I had to constantly say no to for myself. It's something that I have had to personally have to pull good friends out of when they were seduced in many different realms, whether it was in Hollywood, whether it was in DC, whether it was there have been so many different examples in my life. But tonight, it made me so proud to know that there's someone on the ground that was specifically coming into Nashville to find these different things. And he said, listen to this is so important. He said, the mainstream media never tells the truth. He's like, the things that we're uncovering, all the different small businesses that you can't understand why they're still in business. You never see people going in or out of them, whether they're pizza parlors, whether they're weird random clothing places. There could be daycares, they can be all kinds of different businesses. You never see people going in or out of them. And yet they seem to hang on for years and years. And no one seems to know why, and no one asks any questions. He goes, these are the fronts. Now, if you're a student, you grew up in the city, like, I grew up in Pittsburgh. I mean, I knew that a lot of the things that were happening that I was familiar with happened through pizza parlors. I mean, we knew that, and I just don't understand why there is a disconnect when people are putting together these pieces, and they find it so difficult to understand that people that are criminals, that do the worst, have fronts, and they're right in your face. And don't you think that it comes trickle down from the top, the way that formula works? So, I said this 2 years ago, and I'll say it again live, and I know this is going to be really shocking to some of the people that have just met me in the last year or so, because you don't know me under these terms. When you have people that are trying to shut you down for saying the truth about what's actually really going down. If you seriously think that that there is no such thing as the 5 largest global economies in the world that have been going on for decades, start with war, human trafficking, drug trafficking, sex trafficking, and organ trafficking, and child trafficking. If you don't understand that, you can't wrap your head around that, and that until most recently, everything's been trickling down from it, I don't know what to say anymore, because it's so in our faces. And the worst part about it is that the one platform that could truly be telling the truth about all of this, if they truly had integrity, would be the mainstream media. They're not saying anything. And this gentleman, who specifically works in these areas and who actually is involved with taking this stuff down, specifically said they don't ever tell the truth. And I just want to share that with all of you that I know, that I'm connected with, that have been doing the most amazing research for the last 2.5 years on this, who have sacrificed so much of your time, your money, your life, your connections with friends. I mean, we've all lost so much in this, you know, me included. You know, I've lost a lot in talking about these certain things. But it's important because, you know what? We can't sit there and say we care about our future without actually caring about our future. We can't say we care about the kids without actually caring about the kids. I don't have kids. There's a million reasons why I don't at this point. I knew all this stuff a long time ago. I didn't know how to raise kids in this. But I knew I wanted to fight for all of the friends and all of the people I care about who do have kids. And they were in survival mode. And they were also getting played so many times to get fed into this. They wanted your kids to be a part of Victoria's Secret. They wanted your kids to be part of Hollyweird. They wanted your kids to be the next pop star like Miley Cyrus. What the hell is she doing, dude? And anyone who knows Miley, please get her help. Like, seriously. You know, dignity. Dignity as a woman, as a man, dignity in your character. Don't you think that it's more important to have dignity as a human being than to constantly push your sexuality on every single person for $1? Why are they telling you this? Because there is a global economy for it. You see? So, anywho, I am really excited, and I hope that you feel the change and the lightness that is going on right now, where right now all of these things are getting shut down, which means that the money can go towards entrepreneurship, your own ideas. Who do you really truly want to be in the world? It's amazing. There are people that I've met in the last month and a half. They're a wonderful woman, Rachel Barbeau. She goes to all of the different sports. She's a sportscaster for Sirius, okay? She goes to all these different events with young sports players and talks about these things, talks about trafficking and the sex trade that happens all the time in sports, and how you can get pulled into that. And you devalue these young girls that are coming in for parties, so that you'll get seduced into continuing with maybe a certain team or just the general culture. And she encourages, know you're a king. And girls, know you're a queen. And know how to treat people. And know how you want to be treated. Dignity, care. Look at Tim Tebow. Why did they want to destroy Tim Tebow? Because he was shedding light on everything. on how to really be a man, or how to really be someone who cares about people. The shift is here. And at this point, you're either in it or you're against it. You either get it or you don't, because it's so obvious at this point. The players that are involved in trying to hide it and who have been making money off of it for decades, and the people that are now wanting to inspire everybody, even the ones that got their hands dirty. You know, no judgment. You can change your mind at any given time. You can change your mind and make the world a better place any given time. But for those that are coming up, the young people, to know that there is so much more of a world than having to sell yourself out to that kind of stuff, is a brilliant place to be. And that's where real freedom is. Think of how you are as a child. What do you love to do? And just make it amazing, and be an entrepreneur and do your thing. So tonight is just a quick message of encouragement. Know that there are truly people on the ground. It's not just this continuous fight of saying that it's a conspiracy theory that these things are going on, and the whole thing with Epstein and blah, blah, blah. Please know this is truly a real fight. There are real people on the real ground that know exactly what's going on, and they have their heart and their total focus on making things good. So for all of you that have been in this fight for a long time, I just really hope that you feel encouraged, and you know that it means something, and it's happening, and it's all going to change, and there's going to be a really beautiful future for everybody. So that's all I got to say. I hope you guys have a great night. Peace out. Bye.